Jefferson, a Tatiana, Jefferson, a Tatiana, Jefferson. Say her name, 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 say her name.
Won't you say her name? Shelley Frey, say her name. Shelley Frey, won't you say her name? Shelley Frey, say her name. Shelley Frey, won't you say her name? Lawana Phillips, say her name. Lawana Phillips, say her name. Lawana Phillips, say her name. Lawana Phillips, won't you say her name? Say her name, 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 won't you say her name?
say her name. Simone Marshall, say her name. Simone Marshall, won't you say her name? Yvette Smith, say her name. Yvette Smith, say her name. Yvette Smith, say her name. Yvette Smith, won't you say her name? Say her name, say her name, say her name, won't you say her name? Say her name, say her name, say her name, won't you say her name?
Say her name. Margaret Mitchell, say her name. Margaret Mitchell, say her name. Maya Hall, 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 won't you say her name? Taisha Miller, say her name. Taisha Miller, say her name. Taisha Miller, say her name. Taisha Miller, won't you say her name? Say her name. 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 Won't you say her name?
Is everybody else a clamper? What do I do?
Tasha McKenna, say her name, won't you say her name? Darnisha Harris, say her name, Darnisha Harris, say her name, Darnisha Harris, say her name, won't you say her name? Say her name, 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 won't you say her name?
Pearly Golden, say her name. Pearly Golden, say her name. Pearly Golden, say her name. Pearly Golden, won't you say her name? Miriam Carey, say her name. 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 Tarika Wilson, 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 won't you say her name? Say her name, 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 won't you say her name?
Micaiah Bryant, say her name. Micaiah Bryant, say her name. Micaiah Bryant, say her name. Micaiah Bryant, won't you say her name? Betty Jones, say her name. Betty Jones, say her name. Betty Jones, say her name. Say her name, won't you say her name? Say her name, say her name, say her name, won't you say her name? Say her name, say her name, say her name, won't you say her name? Say it. Rakia Boyd, say your name. Rakia Boyd, say your name. Rakita Boyd, say your name. Rakia Boyd, won't you say your name? Latasha Walton, say your name. Latasha Walton, say your name. Latasha Walton, say your name. Say your name, won't you say your name? A Tatiana Jefferson, a Tatiana Jefferson, a Tatiana Jefferson. Say your name, say your name, say your name, say your name, say her 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 name. Kendra James, 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 won't you say her name? Priscilla Slater, say her name. Priscilla Slater, say her name. Priscilla Slater, say her name. Priscilla Slater, won't you say her name? Hubert Henderson, say her name. Hubert Henderson, say her name. Hubert Henderson, say her name. Hubert Henderson, won't you say her name? Say her name, 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 won't you say her name?
Keisha Michael, say her name. Keisha Michael, say her name. Keisha Michael, say her name. Keisha Michael, won't you say her name? Danette Daniel, say her name. Danette Daniel, say her name. Danette
Chapman, say your name. Kendrick Chapman, say your name. 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 Say your name.
India Kager, say your name. India Kager, say your name. India Kager, say your name. India Kager, won't you say your name? Shelly Frey, say her name. Shelly Frey, won't you say her name? Shelly Frey, say her name. Shelly Frey, won't you say her name? Lawana Phillips, say her name. Lawana Phillips, say her name. Lawana Phillips, say her name. Lawana Phillips, won't you say her name? Say her name. 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 Won't you say her name?
Pamela Turner, say her name. Pamela Turner, say her name. Pamela Turner, say her name. Pamela Turner, won't you say her name? Latondra Ellington, say her name. 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 Crystalline Barnes, 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 won't you say her name? Say her name. 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 Won't you say her name? Breonna Taylor, say her name. Breonna Taylor, say her name. Breonna Taylor, say her name. Breonna Taylor, won't you say her name? Ayanna Stanley Jones, say her name. 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 Naza Morris, 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 say her name. 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 Won't you say her name?
Sandra Bland, say her name. Sandra Bland, say her name. Sandra Bland, say her name. Sandra Bland, won't you say her name? Simone Marshall, say her name. Simone Marshall, say her name. Simone Marshall, say her name. Simone Marshall, won't you say her name? Yvette Smith, say her name. Yvette Smith, say her name. Yvette Smith, say her name. Yvette Smith, won't you say her name? Say her name. Say her name. Say her name, won't you say her name? Say her name. Say her name. Say her name, won't you say her name?
Margaret Mitchell, say her name. 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 Maya Hall, 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 won't you say her name? Taisha Miller, say her name. Taisha Miller, say her name. Taisha Miller, say her name. Taisha Miller, won't you say her name? Say her name. 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 Won't you say her name? Alicia Thomas, say your name. Alicia Thomas, say your name. Alicia Thomas, say your name. Say your name. Say your name. Kayla Moore, say your name. Kayla
Good evening. We're going to be getting started in about 5 minutes. So if you can get to your seats and we'll get started soon. Thank you.
say her name. Pearly golden, say her name. Pearly golden, say her name. Pearly golden, won't you say her name? Marion Carey, say her name. 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 Tarika Wilson, 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 won't you say her name? Say her name, 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 won't you say her name?
Micaiah Bryant, say her name. Micaiah Bryant, say her name. Micaiah Bryant, say her name. Micaiah Bryant, want to say her name. Betty Jones, say her name. Betty Jones, say her name. Betty Jones, say her name. Say her name, want to say her name. Say her name, say her name, say her name, want to say her name. Say her name, say her name, say her name, want to say her name. Say it.
I am my sister's keeper. I am my sister's keeper. I am my sister's keeper. I'm gonna say her name. I am my sister's keeper. I am my sister's keeper. I am my sister's keeper. I'm gonna say her name. I am my sister's keeper. I am my sister's keeper. I am my sister's
We
keeper.
invite everybody who is able to please stand.
Gonna say her name. I am my sister's keeper. I am my sister's keeper. I am my sister's keeper. I'm gonna say her name. I am my sister's keeper. I am my sister's keeper. I am my sister's keeper. I'm gonna say her name. I am my sister's keeper. I am my sister's keeper. I am my sister's keeper. I'm gonna say her name. I am. I am. I'm gonna say her name. I am. I am. I am. I'm gonna say her name. I am my sister's keeper. I am. I'm gonna say her name. I am. I am. I am. I'm gonna say her name. My sister's keeper. I am my sister's keeper. I am my sister's keeper. I'm gone. I am. I am. I'm gonna say her name. Say her name. I am my sister's keeper. Say her name.
You may all be seated. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the 8th anniversary of the Say Her Name campaign. My name is Awoye Timpo, and I am the Creative Arts Administrator for the African American Policy Forum. We are so honored that you have joined us for our ceremony of remembrance of the Black women, girls, and femmes who we've lost to state violence. I am also so grateful and honored by the presence and members of the Say Her Name's Mothers Network, the mothers, sisters, and daughters of those whose lives were cut short. We have gathered here today, friends, colleagues, family, allies, to uplift their stories. We are also joined by our artists in residence who have blessed us with their incredible gifts. Thank you to Abby and Gina and Afia. And as we begin this evening, we feel the energy of the sacred space that we have collectively created and acknowledge the collective energy of those both in this room and those joining us from around the world online. When the ancestors who have been stolen from us are held with the utmost care, when their memories are guarded with vigilance, and their families are surrounded in love, we embody the fundamental mission of Say Her Name. So, since 2015, AAPF and our partners have gathered to support the mothers, the sisters, the aunts, the grandmothers, and families of Black women who have been killed by the police. We perform rituals of remembrance for those we've lost. We curate community, providing resources for those directly affected by this violence, and we demand life-affirming practice to preclude this senseless loss of life. Ritual has always been at the center of our movement since the very first Say Her Name vigil at New York's Union Square, where the light of these women's lives and the meaning of justice for their families take center stage. These ceremonies, these invocations, these meditations are powerful actions through which each of us shares in our responsibility of remembrance and also of stewardship. Our intention is to bear witness, to counteract the erasure that keeps these tragedies out of the public memory and that leaves these families holding what we call the loss of the loss. These rituals embody our refusal to sanction the theft of our sisters' lives and the abandonment of those they have left behind. On this 8th anniversary, we hope that this night of poetry and of song and of sisterhood provides us all with a renewed sense of community, of action, and of urgency that will sustain our commitments to say her name. Please join us in watching a short video about the Say Her Name campaign.
I believe that if my baby had been Caucasian, that she would still be alive.
We don't focus on what it means to be a black woman and how you're perceived and what you're going to have to face.
I'm a part of the Say Her Name Mothers Network.
I had to do something outside of the box to get the city's attention, anybody's attention I could. I took a casket, took it downtown, pushed it through the streets of Phoenix. This is how Michelle's death became known.
So many women was being murdered and nobody talked about it. Nobody.
What I'm looking for is justice. We have to come together and we have to stand for the black women today. We have to not just let them sweep it under the rug.
But I will not stop, as all the rest of the mothers have said, until I get some answers.
That was our first time meeting each other.
To be around a group of women that, when they say, I understand, they understand. They're living it. They're all walking in the same shoes at the same time, just trying to deal with what happened and trying to get justice.
What we're learning is that laws matter, and we're also learning that local elections extremely matter.
Yeah.
So, we definitely push voter registration.
Yeah.
We definitely push local elections and making sure that the people we know are in the know of when it is and who's running and things of that nature. Because we have to learn that the DA is our attorney. We don't get to pick who gets to, fight for Tatiana.
Unfortunately.
The city has chosen. They're trying to figure out what stallman tactics can be done, and they have pulled every card.
And been granted. Police murder and terror falls right under white supremacy. They didn't look at my daughter as deserving to live. They cobbled together this story. And again, that has what has always been. Erasure of India. Focus on the black, scary, criminal male. The police walk. Call it what it is and do something about it. It's enough of the platitudes and enough of the empty talking. Do something about it.
I would say for people who want to help share the stories, contact your local representatives, ask that these cases be reopened.
I know there's work to do for us reaching out to other mothers. We have to reach out. We have to support. We have to support the new ones.
What my mom did, she did pursue on getting the officers convicted. But when the case started going, it was tossed from one person to the next person to the next person for the past 3 years until finally they decided they was going to go ahead and go with a grand jury. The grand jury dismissed all charges with the 2 officers. It wasn't about the money. It was about the life of Tanisha Anderson.
Of Shelley Fry.
Miriam Carey.
India Jasmine Kager.
Tatiana Jefferson.
India Beatty.
Michelle Cousseau.
Of Kayla Moore.
Of Corinne Gaines.
Of Michelle Shirley.
We will prevail. I hold on to that. I hold on to that for my daughter and for all of our sisters and loved ones.
And that's why we say her name.
Say her name.
And please welcome, with a special virtual message, the co-founder and executive director of AAPF, Professor Kimberly Crenshaw.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the 8th anniversary of the Say Her Name campaign. I'm honored that you've joined us for this ceremony of remembrance of the Black women, girls, and femmes who we've lost to state violence. I'm also grateful and honored by the presence of members of the Say Her Name network, the mothers, sisters, and daughters of those we are gathering here to uplift. I'm also thankful for our artists in residence who've blessed us with their incredible gifts over the years. I so long to be with you tonight, but even from afar, I can feel the energy of this sacred space that we're collectively creating. When the ancestors who've been stolen from us are held with the utmost care, when their memories are guarded with vigilance, and when their families are surrounded in love, we embody the fundamental mission of Say Her Name. Since 2015, the African American Policy Forum and our partners have gathered to support the mothers, sisters, aunts, grandmothers, and families of Black women who've been killed by the police. We perform rituals of remembrance for those we've lost. We curate community. We provide resources for those directly affected by this kind of violence. And we demand life-affirming practices to preclude this senseless loss of life. Ritual has been at the center of our movement since our very first Say Her Name vigil at New York's Union Square, where the light of these women's lives and the meaning of justice for their families is what takes the center stage. These ceremonies, invocations, meditations are powerful actions through which each of us shares the responsibility of remembrance and stewardship. Our intention is to bear witness, to counteract the erasure that keeps these tragedies out of the public's memory and that leaves their families holding what we call the loss of the loss. These rituals embody our refusal to sanction the theft of our sisters' lives and the abandonment of those they've left behind. On this 8th anniversary, I hope that this night of poetry, of song, and sisterhood provides us all with the renewed sense of community, of action, and of urgency that will sustain our commitments to say her name.
You can see we have a message so good, we have some things to say twice so that we remember, really remember as we make our commitment to this work into the future. This is the first time in a number of years that we've been able to gather in person, so it feels really special. For those of you in the room with us today, thank you for making the time to come out this evening. And again, to those joining virtually, we're really happy to have you here and that we're able to continue the tradition of this Say Her Name anniversary remembrance event. So we are going to continue with a guided meditation. So let me jump ahead. I am very, very thrilled to introduce Jaslyn Livingston. Jaslyn is a social impact advocate and wellness practitioner. She has a background as a trauma therapist, a civil rights organizer, and she's the founder of Black Girls Leadership Academy, an organization dedicated to cultivating the leadership skills of young Black girls and women through mentorship, arts, and education, while prioritizing their personal development, cultural identity, and global character. She is an instructor at BYW Dripped Studios, a Black-owned yoga and wellness community-based organization in the DC and Maryland areas. So welcome, Jaslyn.
Good evening, everyone. I'm just gonna set up really quick. Oh, how are y'all doing? Yeah. Well, it's my absolute honor and joy to be here with you all this evening. Can you hear me? No. Let me see if I get a little closer. How about now? Can you hear me better now? Okay. Well, I would love for you all to hear me, and I'd love to also feel you all this evening. So I have the great joy and honor of walking us through a guided meditation. And I also want to just give gratitude for AAPF, for all that you all are doing, for the mothers, the daughters, the sisters, the organizers who continue to uplift their names. And I hope that today we honor them by breathing. So we're going to begin with me inviting you back to your breath, feeling your feet on the ground. If your legs are crossed, let's see if we can uncross them. I want you to feel your feet firmly on the ground, feeling the earth grounding you, feeling the weight of your body rested in the chair, feeling your back supported, feeling your shoulders lightened. I want you to begin. You can close your eyes or have a soft gaze, whatever feels best for you. We're going to begin by taking a nice deep inhale through the nose, feeling the lungs, and then exhaling out by the mouth. Again, nice deep inhale through the nose, exhaling out by the mouth, allowing your body to soften one more time as we take a deep inhale through the nose. As you exhale out by the mouth, finding the natural rhythm of your breath. And as you continue to breathe, maybe your mind may wander, but I want you to set an intention for yourself, for this practice and for this evening. Maybe to set an intention for what you've been yearning for. Maybe it's to be loved. Maybe it's to be seen. Maybe it's to be heard, to be understood, to be wrapped in the arms of your sisters this evening, to be wrapped in the arms of your community. As you continue to breathe, know that your breath is an act of love for her. To breathe for her, to live for her. Your breath is an act of living out the legacy of her breath, living out the legacy of your breath. As you take an inhale through the nose, breathe love into your lungs and allow it to surround you. Another nice deep breath in through the nose, allowing the breath to surround you. Today we celebrate your light, your liberation, and your legacy. Today we breathe to invite ease, to invite peace, to invite love, care, and trust. I want you to feel your feet on the ground as you breathe nice and easily through the nose. And imagine a golden light right underneath your feet. Feeling the weight of your toes, allowing that light to wrap around your ankles as it guides up to your calves, your shins, feeling that light around your knees, your thighs, your hips, your waist, your womb, your stomach, your rib cage, your heart, your chest, your shoulders, your arms, your elbows, your forearms, your wrists, your palms, and your fingertips, your throat, your chin, your lips, your tongue, your jaw, your nose, your eyes, your forehead, and your crown, allowing that light to surround you. As it is you, you are the light, you are the legacy, you are the light in the legacy of her. Thank you for sharing your light with us. Thank you for allowing her light to shine through you. Ashe. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jasmine. There's an African proverb that reads, "One finger alone can't pick up a stone." And that's part of the work of the Say Her Name Mothers Network, to remind these incredible mothers and family members that they are not alone in this life and also not alone in this work. I would now like to introduce Lisa Gissendaner, the Say Her Name Mothers Network Coordinator, to the stage.
Thank you, Awoye, and good evening to you all. I am Lisa Gissendaner, and I am the African American Policy Forum Say Her Name Mothers Network Coordinator. The Mothers Network is a sisterhood of women tethered together due to the tragic loss of their family members, yet committed to supporting one another as they advocate for justice for their families. I am so happy to be with them this evening and want to bring them into this brief conversation about how they hold their loved ones' legacies. So join me at this time in welcoming the mothers to the stage, and I'll introduce them once they have a seat. Welcome.
I'm going to move you over just a little bit.
At this time, I want to introduce the mothers, sisters, and daughters. To my far right, I'll start with Valerie Carey. She is the sister of Miriam Carey. I have Deborah Shirley, who is the mother of Michelle Shirley. Rhonda Dormius, who is the mother of Corinne Gaines. And I have Chelsea Rubin, who is the daughter of Pamela Turner. And I have Sharon Wilkerson, who is the mother of Shelley Frey. And so we want to call our mothers in to welcome them and to embrace them and ask that they be a conduit to their loved one's essence. So here, in this space, we want to brighten this space with their light and get a picture of the kind of light that their daughters and family members held. So I want to ask today to the mothers to give us a sense of the color their loved ones evoked. And so each one of you, I'm going to ask you a question about your loved one. And so, Valerie, I'm going to start with you. When you think of your sister Miriam, what color comes to mind?
So now, the color blue comes to mind. I think about her first car was the color blue. I think about the blue sky when we honor my sister each year by releasing butterflies. I think about the justice that I seek for her, which also represents blue. So when I think of my sister, I think of blue.
When you think of Miriam, you think of the color blue. Thank you for sharing. Mother Shirley, when you think of Michelle, what color comes to mind?
Her two favorite colors, red and gold. She let me know that her two favorite colors before she passed were red and
Can you all
gold.
hear Mother Shirley?
No. Closer.
Yes, put the microphone closer.
Okay. Red and gold. She shared with me before she passed that her favorite colors were red and gold. She always looked good in red. Her favorite lipstick was red. She had the most beautiful smile, and she could walk in a room and just brighten a room when she smiled. And she looked good in red lipstick, I have to admit. When she first started wearing makeup, I wasn't too okay with it, but she looked good. And it's so funny, they asked me last night about this, and I said red and gold. And I'll finish with the gold. She started buying gold jewelry when she got her first paycheck from the time she started working as a teenager. She was always buying something gold. So those are her two favorite colors. But I was out for a little walk today, and I went in a Starbucks, and I walked up to the counter. She had a coffee mug when she moved back in with me, and I wanted a mug just like it. Pretty red color, and I could never find a Christmas mug, never, that looked as good, half as good as the one she had. And I never told her this, and I don't know why I didn't tell her, probably because I thought she'd give me hers and I didn't want to take her mug away. I remember her walking around the house with that coffee mug, and I just wanted one just like it. Today, after finding out that we were gonna do this, I walked into a Starbucks and found a mug that screamed Michelle. And I got what I now call spiritual bumps all over.
Yes.
When I saw that mug, my eyes got watery, and I just knew it was a sign of exactly, because she loved this so much. And I'm going to cherish this mug if I can get it home without breaking it. And this is going to be my holiday Michelle Shirley in honor of her mug that I will drink my coffee out of and my tea for the rest of my life.
Thank you. And Rhonda, coming to you, looking back at Corinne, what color comes to mind?
Purple. I mean, purple for me, it shows a strong color. You know, it presents as a strong color. And she was very strong. Corinne was very stubborn. And, you know, it just demonstrates strength. I don't know even know how to explain it any different, you know.
Okay.
Power and royalty.
Yes. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you so much. And Chelsea, when you think about your mother, what color comes to mind?
The same color, purple, and it is for the exact same reasons, for that strength that I know my mom to have, for her resilience and being able to just power forward through life. And that's why. And
The color purple?
it was also her favorite.
Her favorite color?
Yes.
Thank you. And Mother Sharon, coming to you, what is the color that comes to mind when you think about Shelley?
It's pink and purple. pink because she was so soft-hearted. She was a giver. She wore this pretty pink lipstick.
The color pink.
Yes.
And purple.
Purple because she was royal to me. She was royal to her children. So, purple.
And pink. Thank you so much. Val, I'm going to come back to you because I don't think we were able to hear you at the beginning, but I know you said the color blue for your sister Miriam, and so we want to hear from you again.
So the color blue reminds me of my sister. The first car she got was blue. The color was blue. And I recently painted a picture of my sister with a blue-black background because it resembles the sky when I would release butterflies for my sister on her birthday and her death day. And the justice that we are seeking for my sister, blue represents that to me.
Okay, thank you. I want to take this opportunity just to say when I look at you all and when I think about you all, I think about the color yellow because it exudes happiness, the sun shining, hope, and joy. And so I want you all to know the past 8 years, I have gotten to know you all. Chelsea, just meeting you this morning. You know that the African American Policy Forum is in the fight with you all and in the struggle. And we love you dearly, and we're going to be here and continue to support you in your fight for justice, and we will continue to recognize and uplift your daughters and mothers and sisters' names. And so I just wanted to also just share with you, there's a table back there that has a picture of two women, two mothers, that they're with us here today in spirit. Mother Cassandra Johnson, who is the mother of Tanisha Anderson, and we call her Auntie Mama Vicky McAdory. They're not with us physically, but she was the aunt, mother, and helped to raise India Beatty. We just wanted to make sure that we called their names and mentioned their names. And also we want you to remember right now, you saw pictures and conversation from Ashley Carr and Amber Carr. They're sisters of a Tatiana Jefferson. The trial started last week, and we're thinking of them, lifting them up right now because the trial ended today. The jury is in, but we know that we'll have justice for them and for all the mothers and families. So thank you for supporting the African American Policy Forum and the Say Her Mothers Network. Thank you.
We thank our mothers, our sisters, and the daughters of the movement. We love you all very, very much. And we thank you for trusting us with the beautiful and special memories of your daughters and your family members. We hope that their spirits are lifted up in this room and in our memories. We are now going to turn the mic over to AAPF Artist in Residence, Gina Loring.
Good evening. So this is a bit of a reciprocal kind of situation. So I'm going to share a piece with you. And if you feel it, go ahead and snap, go ahead and holler, say yes, say amen. But let me feel you, because I feel all of you, and I want you to feel me. Her heart beats in realms you cannot see. These fleshy, fragile suits are but vessels. You can't box up the sun or hold the Milky Way hostage, can't capture the wind, chain something as elusive as sound. Her name is written in the ridges of your palm, hidden beneath your first waking breath. She is in the sky, in sunsets, golden violets and blues, in the clouds, in the waves. Her name is written there, too. Her womb, the cradle of civilization. Akashic records trace it back. Everyone is black. Do you not hear the wind testify? We made you possible. And what have you become? What have you done? Strayed so far from your own humanity, you can't see ours. What God do you pray to? What laws do you live by? Are you not ashamed to breathe, having stolen so much breath, karmic debt, almost beyond repair? Who dares such barbarity? Violence as generational practice, as tradition, such sins are cancerous to the collective soul, and we are all connected to the whole. You violate the most sacred, carriers of light, divine feminine. We are the moon, we are life. What upside down world did you create to take the sanctity of our bodies and make it a thing? The blessing of our skin and make it wrong when all along we are built by divine design. You are haunted by your own doing. Some sick sibling rivalry, you hate us but want to be us. No booty lift, lip injection, tanning salon can give you soul. No redemption, no ascension can be bought with silver or gold. Just say her name. The constellations spell it out. Say her name. It's your passport to freedom, your only route. Repent, confess. Stole our bodies, our culture, the shoulders we stand on. But the ancestor spirits are not for sale. Our regality and resilience are not for your taking. Every peak and valley, her name is shaking. It echoes out from that core. She is both after and before the very earth you walk on. The air in your lungs, the rhythm of your breath. Say her name. It's all that will be left when you are called to judgment, stripped to ash and bone. Say her name. That's your only way home. Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Gina. Please join me in welcoming Sharmina Nelson and Glenda Smiley, two of our incredible AAPF staff members.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you all for joining us tonight. My name is Sharmina Nelson. I serve as the Chief of Staff and Director of Community Engagement at the African American Policy Forum. And I'm joined here with the amazing Glenda Smiley, who serves as a Director of Programs and Advocacy. I see some shout-outs for you, Glenda, over there. We are honored to share this space in person with you all for the first time in 3 years. This work is not work that we take lightly. We are grateful to be trusted with this critical campaign and these stories and the journey of our Mothers Network. In 2020, we saw a collective consciousness and awareness around the conditions of Black people in this country. We saw people outraged take to the streets. We saw a lot of momentum around the work of the Say Her Name campaign in recognition of the need for a gender-inclusive discussion about police violence. The urgency of this need is glaringly apparent. It still exists, as we tragically continue to hear names of more women unjustly killed. And in this climate that continues to gag us, censoring our history, we are grateful to have you all in this space with us. We are grateful to our amazing donors, our partners, our friends, our Say Her Name advocates, who continue to resist, continue to fight, continue to bear witness. You took an important step this evening by joining us, and I'm asking you to leave this space recommitted, more committed, committed, as our work is far from done. This fight absolutely continues. So we're asking you to do a few things. We're asking you to bear witness to the intersectional realities facing Black women, girls, and femmes, and honor the lives that should have been if they were not lost to state violence. We're asking you to educate yourselves on the conditions that lead to Black women being victimized by state violence. We're asking you to amplify the voices and demands of Black women, to break the silence about the state violence they are subjected to. We're asking you to activate those around you and cultivate a sense of responsibility for resisting state violence against Black women. We're asking you to donate financial or in-kind services to the Say Her Name campaign and the Mothers Network. We know that advocacy does not look the same for everyone, nor do we expect it to. So if you need guidance, we're here to give that. AAPF has what we call a 5x5, which you can find on our Say Her Name Advocates page. And tonight, we'll be featuring the 5x5 live in our advocacy row. So I'm gonna invite Glenda to tell you all a little bit about it. Thank you.
Thank you, Sharmina. Yes, you can clap for that. As Sharmina mentioned earlier, my name is Glenda Smiley. Welcome, welcome, good night, everybody. I have the pleasure of serving as the Director of Programs and Advocacy here at AAPF, and it's an honor to be here tonight with each of you, but most importantly with the members of the Say Her Name Mothers Network, to bear witness to your stories and to hold your family members, our ancestors, in the light as we advocate for the justice of the lives that could have been. To the Say Her Name Mothers Network, we thank you for allowing us to be a part of your village. To your daughters, sisters, and mothers who have transitioned to the other side, our ancestors, we will never stop saying your name. And as committed members of your sacred village, ancestors, it's our duty to take action and drive advocacy with fierce urgency. So to that I say ashe, ashe, ashe-o, and I invite you after the program concludes, we still have some time, to step over here to Advocacy Row. As Sharmina referenced, we will have an in-kind donation table. So let's say you work at an organization, you want to collaborate with AAPF, you have things that you can donate to a program such as this, then that is the table you want to stop by and talk to our lovely team members. We also have a merchandise table with some Say Her Name swag, t-shirts, bags, all types of goodies. So you stop by there, get your merch, and also share it. Share our shop with your friends, not only so that they can rock dope things, because the merch is nice, but so that they can spread the information about the Say Her Name campaign. We also have a letter to your representative or senator table. The letters are already drafted. They're already printed. All you need to do is read, put your name in, sign, and mail it off to your respective representative to help us drive policies that will end police violence against Black women, girls, and femmes. We also have a table where we have the Say Her Name report, which was drafted in 2014. We're actually going to be doing a 10-year anniversary report coming soon, but we have the Say Her Name reports from 2014 printed out so you can take them with you, read them, become more well-versed about this issue, and become better advocates for the Say Her Name campaign. Last but not least, we also have a Books Unbanned table. I don't know if all of you are aware, but we launched a Books Unbanned campaign in October. We went across the country giving out free banned books. And tonight we have a table with banned books that are written by Black women and have stories that feature Black women protagonists. So you can walk away with a whole package of some of those classic books, including The Color Purple and other titles. Sister Outsider, I think there's about 4 different titles in there. The Bluest Eye is also in there.
in the Hate You Give. And part of it is we want to raise awareness that these classic texts are being banned and that there's bills, CRT bills, anti-CRT bills that are responsible for them. So we want you to take the books and read them, of course, but we want you to also tag on to our Books Unbanned campaign. So thank you again for being here. I'll toss back to Shamina. Do you have any other closing words?
Thank you all.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, beautiful. We have a very special request for the mothers to come up, Rhonda, to join us up on stage to tell us a little bit about what's on her mind and on her spirit this evening.
I'll be brief. First, I want to thank everyone for showing up tonight in support of the AAPF in celebration of the 8th anniversary, which also encapsulates us with the love that they offer us at all times. I just wanted to let them know, the AAPF and everybody that's been involved, and I speak for this collectively, that we appreciate you. This is a space that we can always feel safe. We're always loved upon. It's never a moment that we don't feel the empathy and the support that we need as mothers, sisters, and daughters that are walking this path. It's very difficult day to day, but they constantly reach out to us and they let us know that we're on their minds and ask whatever we need, what do we need? It's always about us. And we have someone new, Pamela Turner's daughter. She hasn't had the opportunity to experience the love, but we plan on extending it to her as well because we get it from you guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Rhonda. So thank you all again for participating in tonight's event. As we mentioned at the beginning of the program, part of the mission, a central mission of AAPF, is that we perform rituals. Those rituals are done in remembrance and for storytelling and also for affirmation. So one ritual that we come back to every year is calling out the names of all of the women, girls, and femmes who have been killed at the hands of the police. As we launch into a season of rituals and family remembrance, we take this moment to remember and honor the lives that should have been. This year, we will read 207 names. As we say the names, we invite those who wish to participate to stand. Two of the mothers, we invite you to hold the bowls, and in each bowl is the name of each of the 207 women, girls, or femmes. When you collect the cloth, myself and my colleague, Dr. Venus Evans-Winters, will be here at microphones, and we would like for you to hand us the cloth, and then we're gonna say the name on the cloth. After we say the name, we're gonna hand the cloth back to you, and you'll see along the wall, there's these white 2 rows of white lines along the wall. One of our team members will be here with a bowl that has a clip, and so as we're all saying the names together, we're going to clip the names of all, we're gonna clip the strings of all the names along the wall. You can hang it anywhere you like along the line, high or low, and we'll have staff members here to assist you. Meanwhile, the rest of us will all be continuing to say all of the names. This act of saying the names is our commitment to uphold the memory of these lives. And the white cloth represents the purity of life, the idea that even though these people are not here in the physical realm with us anymore, that energy can never be extinguished. So as we say the names, we are activating the energy and the spirit of every single one of these women and girls. Please join me in welcoming back Abby Dobson, our artist in residence, to the stage.
Melanie Jones, say her name. Melanie Jones, say her name. Melanie Jones,
Say her name. Say her name.
Marcella Bird, say her name. Say her name. Marcella Bird, say her name.
Eulia May Love, say her name. Say her name.
For the names
Sophia Shante King, say her name.
Just say her name.
Sophia Shante King, say her name.
Lavetta Jackson, say her name. Say her name.
Frankie Ann Perkins, say her name. Say her name.
Sherry Singleton, say her name. Say her name.
Martha Donald, say her name. Say her name.
Eleanor Bumpers, say her name. Say her name.
Alicia McCullough, say her name. Alicia McCullough, say her name.
Tessa Hardiman, say her name. Say her name.
Rhonda Harris Word Africa, say her name. Say her name.
Niza Morris, say her name. Say her name.
Teresa Brooks Africa, say her name. Say her name.
Tarkiza Johnson, say her name. Say her name.
Netta, Africa, say her name. Say her name.
Kendra James, say her name. Say her name.
Delisha, Africa, say her name. Say her name.
Alberta Spruill, say her name. Say her name.
Rebecca Garnett, say her name. Say her name.
Sanji Taylor, say her name. Say her name.
Denise Michelle Washington, say her name. Say her name.
Denise Michelle Washington.
Kim Groves, say her name. Say her name.
Tarisha Tasha Danielle, say her name. Say her name.
Carolyn Adams, say her name. Say her name.
Ade Busala Taru, say her name. Say her name.
Annie Holiday, say her name. Say her name.
Frankie Ann Perkins, say her name. Say her name.
Danette Daniels, say her name. Say her name.
Andrea Humphrey, say her name. Say her name.
Cora Bell Jones, say her name. Say her name.
Summer Marie Lane, say her name. Say her name.
Emily Marie Delafield, say her name. Say her name.
Patricia Thompson, say her name. Say her name.
Taisha Miller, say her name. Say her name.
Erica Tyrone, say her name. Say her name.
All the names I'll never know.
Margaret Laverne Mitchell, say her name. Say her name.
Rika Kalawati Bade, say her name. Say her name.
Catherine Johnson, say her name. Catherine Johnston, say her name.
Latanya Haggerty, say her name. Say her name.
Andrea Hall, say her name. Say her name.
Clara Morris, say her name. Say her name.
Annette Green, say her name. Say her name.
Linda Joyce Friday, say her name. Say her name.
Andrina Kitt, say her name. Say her name.
Marnell Robertson Villarreal, say her name. Say her name.
Degressa Elaine Crawford, say her name. Say her name.
Thomasina Brown, say her name. Say her name.
Melisha Thompson, say her name. Say her name.
Andrea Nicole Reedy, say her name. Say her name.
Aaliyah Mariah Jenkins, say her name. Say her name.
Denise Nicole Glasgow, say her name. Say her name.
Kim Doreen Chase, say her name. Say her name.
Dorothy Williams Johnson, say her name. Say her name.
Simone Marshall, say her name. Say her name.
Rio Ra Asku, say her name. Say her name. Elaine Coleman, say her name. Say her name.
Tarika Wilson, say her name. Say her name.
Waukesha Wilson, say her name. Say her name.
Grinna McMillan, say her name. Say her name.
Anita Gay, say her name. Say her name.
Barbara Dawson, say her name. Say her name.
Latoya Greer, say her name. Say her name.
Raynette Turner, say her name. Say her name.
Lori Jean Ellis, say her name. Say her name.
Ralkina Jones, say her name. Say her name.
Tamika Jordan, say her name. Say her name.
Duana Johnson, say her name. Say her name.
Joyce Cornell, say her name. Say her name.
Kendra Chapman, say her name. Say her name.
Barbara Stewart, say her name. Say her name.
Brenda Williams, say her name. Say her name.
Sandra Bland, say her name. Say her name.
Natasha McKenna, say her name. Say her name.
Yvette Williams, say her name. Say her name.
Shanique Proctor, say her name. Say her name.
Tiranika Jenkins, say her name. Say her name. Amanda Anderson, say her name. Say her name.
We'll invite the line to move a little to back so that people can continue to make their way through.
Aretha Lilly, say her name. Say her name.
Martina Brown, say her name. Say her name.
Latondra Ellington, say her name. Say her name.
Catherine Highsaw, say her name. Say her name.
Sarah Riggins, say her name. Say her name.
Linda Hicks, say her name. Say her name.
Nimali Henry, say her name. Say her name.
Sukiba Jackson Olawunmi, say her name. Say her name.
Kiam Livingston, say her name. Say her name.
Anna Brown, say her name. Say her name.
Ayana Monet Stanley Jones, say her name. Say her name.
Talia Barnes, say her name. Say her name.
Erica Hainsworth, say her name. Say her name.
Aja Dixon, say her name. Say her name.
Letha Coretta Adams, say her name. Say her name.
Degressa Elaine Crawford, say her name. Say her name.
Sierra Lee, say her name. Say her name.
Marnell Robertson Villarreal, say her name. Say her name.
Gwendolyn Killings, say her name. Say her name.
Uwanda Peterson, say her name. Say her name.
Carolyn Moran Hernandez, say her name. Say her name.
Shatika Fuller, say her name. Say her name.
Daranisha Clay, say her name. Say her name.
Kendra L. Williams, say her name. Say her name.
Brenda Williams, say her name. Say her name.
Mary Malone Jeffries, say her name. Say her name.
Armetta Foster, say her name. Say her name.
Maitia Nikki Grooms, say her name. Say her name.
Talana Salisa Kane, say her name. Say her name.
Shirley Andrews, say her name. Say her name.
Katawaba Howard, say her name. Say her name.
Denise Gay, say her name. Say her name.
Carolyn Jean Daniels, say her name. Say her name.
Yvonne McNeil, say her name. Say her name.
Jamila Yasmin Arshad, say her name. Say her name.
Jamila Barnett, say her name. Say her name.
Desirea Whitmore, say her name. Say her name.
Erica Graham, say her name. Say her name.
Fabricia Vertex Gaynor, say her name. Say her name.
Quinitress McAllister, say her name. Say her name.
Sharice Francis, say her name. Say her name.
Rakia Boyd, say her name. Say her name.
Stephanie Wilson, say her name. Say her name.
Charmel Edwards, say her name. Say her name.
Fonta Billy, say her name. Say her name.
Chantel Davis, say her name. Say her name.
Alicia Thomas, say her name. Say her name.
Brianna Sykes, say her name. Say her name.
Erica Collins, say her name. Say her name.
Melissa Williams, say her name. Say her name.
Latoya James, say her name. Say her name.
Darnisha Harris, say her name. Say her name.
Micaiah Bryant, say her name. Say her name.
Nika Hobart, say her name. Say her name.
Shelly Frey, say her name. Say her name.
Helen Jones, say her name. Say her name.
Yolanda Thomas, say her name. Say her name.
Linda Sue Davis, say her name. Say her name.
Barbara Lassere, say her name. Say her name.
Tina Davis, say her name. Say her name.
Tatiana Jefferson, say her name. Say her name.
Kayla Moore, say her name. Say her name.
Crystal Danielle Ragland, say her name. Say her name.
Kendra Diggs, say her name. Say her name.
Pamela Shantae Turner, say her name. Say her name.
Courtney Hahn, say her name. Say her name.
Nina Adams, say her name. Say her name.
Latasha Nicole Walton, say her name. Latasha Nicole Walton, say her name.
Miriam Carey, say her name. Say her name.
Eleanor Northington, say her name. Say her name.
Angelique Stiles, say her name. Say her name.
Angel Viola DiCarlo, say her name. Say her name.
Sharon Rebecca McDowell, say her name. Say her name.
April Webster, say her name. Say her name.
Breonna Taylor, say her name. Say her name.
Ariel Levy, say her name. Say her name.
Gabriela Navarez, say her name. Say her name.
Tamika Lachey Simpson, say her name. Say her name.
Luana Phillips, say her name. Say her name.
Yvette Smith, say her name. Say her name.
Daricia Blackwell, say her name. Say her name.
Pearlie Golden, say her name. Say her name.
Cynthia Fields, say her name. Say her name.
Angela Beatrice Randolph, say her name. Say her name.
LaShonda Anderson, say her name. Say her name.
Michelle Cousseau, say her name. Say her name.
Cynthia Clements, say her name. Say her name.
Tracy Ann Oglesby Wade, say her name. Say her name.
Shakri Ali Saeed, say her name. Say her name.
Aura Rosser, say her name. Say her name.
Tanisha Anderson, say her name. Say her name.
Alkita Alina Walker. Say her name. Say her name.
Yvette Henderson. Say her name. Say her name.
Crystalline Barnes. Say her name. Say her name.
Janisha Fonville. Say her name. Say her name.
Geraldine Townsend. Say her name. Say her name.
Monique Janae Descartes. Say her name. Say her name.
Carrion Hithen. Say her name. Carrion Hithen. Say her name.
Megan Hockaday. Say her name. Say her name.
Sandy Guardiola. Say her name. Say her name.
Maya Hall. Say her name. Say her name.
Kiwi Herring. Say her name. Say her name.
Alexia Christian. Say her name. Say her name.
India N. Nelson. Say her name. Say her name.
Ralkina Jones. Say her name. Say her name.
Charlena Lyles. Say her name. Say her name.
Riddell Jones. Say her name. Say her name.
Joni Block. Say her name. Say her name.
India Kager. Say her name. Say her name.
Robin White. Say her name. Say her name.
Markeisha McMillan. Say her name. Say her name. Alteria Woods. Say her name. Say her name.
Betty Jones. Say her name. Say her name.
Alina Ebby McDragon. Say her name. Say her name.
Laylene Polanco. Say her name. Say her name.
Priscilla Slater. Say her name. Say her name.
Morgan London Rankins. Say her name. Say her name.
Tanisha Chappell. Say her name. Say her name.
Brianna Greer. Say her name. Say her name.
Michelle Lee Shirley. Say her name. Say her name.
Renee Davis. Say her name. Say her name.
Deborah Danner. Say her name. Say her name.
Corinne Gaines. Say her name. Say her name.
Jessica Nelson Williams. Say her name. Say her name.
Darisha Armstrong. Say her name. Say her name.
Keisha Aran. Say her name. Say her name.
LaRonda Sweat. Say her name. Say her name.
India M. Beatty. Say her name. Say her name.
Brenna McMillan, say her name. Say her name.
India Cummings, say her name. Say her name.
Janice Dotson Stevens, say her name. Say her name.
Janet Wilson, say her name. Say her name.
Tiffany Alexis Eubanks, say her name. Say her name.
Sala Ridgeway, say her name. Say her name.
Keisha Michael, say her name. Say her name.
Brittany Cottrell, say her name. Say her name.
LaDemonian Dwayne Hall, say her name. Say her name.
Say their names, for the names I never know. We will say her name wherever we go.
Please join us in a moment of silence. And our final song from Abby Dobson.
I wish I knew how it would feel to be free. I wish I could break all the chains holding me. I wish I could say all I'm longing to say. Say it loud, say it clear, for the whole world to hear. I wish I could share all the love that's in my heart. Remove all the bonds that keep us apart. I wish you would know what it means to be me. Then you'll see and and agree that everyone should be free. I wish I could give all I'm longing to give. I wish I could live like I'm longing to live. I'd soar to the sun and look down at the sea, and you see and agree everyone should be free. I wish I could be like a bird in the sky. How sweet it would be if I found I could fly. I'd soar to the sun and look down at the sea. I'll sing 'cause I know, and I'll sing 'cause I know, yeah, sing 'cause I know, I'd dance 'cause I know, I'd sing 'cause I know how it feels, how it feels. We wanna feel free. Wes Mingus on guitar.
Okay, every ritual should end with Abby singing that song. This brings us to the close of our evening. Thank you so much to all the mothers and the family members for sharing about your loved ones throughout the evening. We've been so warmed and energized and moved, truly, by the ability to hold this anniversary in person for the first time in 3 years, and also to be able to be joined by an online community. We must honor the traditions and rituals that have made the Mothers Network a place for healing and reflection over the past 7 years. There is a power when we channel our ancestors through ritual. There's power when we come together to honor what has been lost, and there's power when we say her name. It is you, the mothers, the sisters, the daughters, who have instructed us through the years on how we can lift up your loved ones and how we can help you honor and feel held and cared for. We hope that for those of you who are in the room today and to those of you across distance, that you can feel all of our love. We hope that you know that no matter how lonely this journey may be, you are not alone. We hope that you see in this room and know that there is an energy of people online who will fight to make sure that your daughters, your sisters, and your loved ones are remembered. Rituals like these matter. Moments like this matter. Your lives and the lives of your daughters and mothers matter. To everyone, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Thank you for honoring all of these lives that should have been. And I invite everybody to just take a moment to look at this wall of names that we have all honored in this space together.
let us move forward with love, with purpose, and in the pursuit of a true freedom. For those of you who are able, we invite you to join us for a reception in the lobby after the conclusion of this event. And thank you again. Have a beautiful evening, and we look forward to communing with you again next year. Good night.